In this video, Hasan wages verbal warfare against Scarecrow gamers. Yeah, that's totally a thing.
It's my hot body, I'll do what I want.
It's showtime.
Wanting to be a dad is weird.
And we're off.
Every man that wants to be a father, I was shitting on them and you caught me because you're fucking brilliant.
We know you were only talking about gamers.
God forbid you misunderstood the original take that I was making.
Nobody misunderstood it. You were saying that people who play video games and found Pragmata sweet and inspiring to start a family are all incel losers who will never get that chance because no one will touch them, much less procreate with them.
God forbid. That's never a perspective with any of these guys.
You're deflecting because you were wrong and you know it and you can't handle that.
Okay? No one on the internet ever does this thing where they're like, hold on, let me see what he means.
You're saying that people shouldn't take you at your word.
No. I've already been established as a fucking villain for a lot of these dudes, okay? For a lot of these dudes.
What dudes? The people you call incel gamers?
And it does so well on the algorithm.
Bullshit. If it did so well in the algorithm, I'd have a much bigger channel by now.
That they just go, yeah, I'm a professional misunderstander of the point that he's making.
You're filibustering.
God forbid you fucking agree with me.
He thinks that his takes are the only correct takes, so you obviously agree with him, and the only reason you say you don't is because you're jelly.
You know, you only agree with me maybe 2 years after the fact, you know?
Sure.
It's so funny. Dude, you probably agree with my take.
Only if your first take is a lie and you have a completely different take.
It's like 90% of the time, if you actually listen to what I have to say, you probably agree with it, okay?
Hyperbole boy, even if that were true, that doesn't change the fact that your take in this situation was dog shit.
Unless you're like some fucking weirdo, which, you know, Abba and Preach are like...
Hasan has to assign criticism to very specific persons because he can't argue against the general masses.
Centrist on the weirdo spectrum. They're not as like reactionary or whatever.
Oh my god, you're Trump. You're Trump. People talk about you and you fester and rot on it and spit it out at the public.
You probably fucking agree with my take, yes.
So when people disagree with Hasan, he says, actually, if you knew what I really meant, you'd agree with me. Well, then say what you really mean, bitch.
Sweaty, weirdo losers.
He has no facts, so he has to impugn people's dignity.
Who talk about repopulating and saving the white race or whatever.
Are you saying Abba and Preach want to preserve the white race?
That think that like a video game like Pragmata is somehow going to improve the birth rates.
This straw man is so shitty it wouldn't be able to dance with Dorothy.
Well, it's probably... Even if it does improve the birth rates, it's probably not going to be for the guys who talk about the birth rates.
Nobody was talking about birth rates. People were talking about how, oh, it might be nice to have a family someday. Why are you so hostile to this?
People who are predisposed with the fucking birth rates.
This has nothing to do with birth rates.
Are not fucking, okay? That's the point.
It's not about birth rates. It's about gamers wanting to be fathers, and the idea totally freaked you out.
And it's an agreeable position.
It's a completely different position for a completely different argument.
That I suspect Abba and Preach would probably agree with as well.
Agree with your white nationalist birth rate argument that you completely made up out of whole cloth?
So why the fuck are you doing this idiotic song and dance where you know what my actual perspective is?
Your actual perspective is twofold. One, you think that gamers are loser incels who should never change because if they change, then they won't watch your content and you won't have an audience. And two, you're weird about the Japanese.
And then you hear me elaborate on my actual perspective.
That wasn't an elaboration. That was a white nationalist cake dressed up with frosting and sprinkles.
And then you go, oh, you got called out, so now it's incels.
You used it. You called gamers incels.
Stop. Don't do this fucking bullshit. Jesus Christ.
He inserts a lot of exclamations in order not to use actual words or thoughts, doesn't he?
Be real, man. Be serious.
Why? Can't you take a joke?
Please, be honest. Like, what are we doing?
We're whining about how people don't listen to the things we say and understand that we mean something different.
I hate the fucking dishonesty, man. I hate it.
That's a lie, because if it were true, you wouldn't lie.
Like, oh, you clarified your position? That's because you got backlash and you're backtracking.
That's the excuse you use when other people clarify their opinions.
No, dude, you think I fucking give a shit?
I don't have to think it. I know it. I'm seeing it.
About a bunch of neo-Nazi...
Abba and Preach are neo-Nazis?
Right-wing...
Right-wingers don't talk about you because they don't know about you because you're not famous enough out of leftist circles.
Insane grifters that even other fucking right-wing grifters now assume are grifters?
These people don't exist. They're all in your head.
Oh no, they're talking shit about me. It's a fucking Monday. It's a fucking Tuesday.
If that's your use, why are you crashing out like this?
It's every day of the fucking week. You think I give a shit about what they say?
Yes, I do.
I hate that, like, for so many people who want to position themselves as, like, reasonable centrists,
You've completely changed the subject.
they have to literally turn around and be like, even if I probably agree with Hasan on this issue, I'm going to act like I misunderstood his point.
There was no misunderstanding and you haven't proven otherwise.
Be real, man. Be serious. Please, be honest. Like, what are we doing?
Hasan, people don't agree with you secretly. That's not a thing.
And act like I'm actually in disagreement with him
When Hasan doesn't have new thoughts, he repeats old ones.
so that all the fucking weird right-wingers still consider me to be someone who is an apolitical guy.
Hasan made up a whole enemy to Shadowbox here. Literally, he made this guy up.
Someone who is on the right side, you know? Might not agree with them all the time, but at least he sticks it to Hasan.
Wait, that's a completely different scarecrow.
Be fucking brave, man. Be brave. Just say what you truly mean, okay? You
Wait, so because I'm a woman, I don't have to be honest? Ooh.
don't have to constantly do this fucking tightrope so that, like, weirdo right-wing losers don't come after you all the fucking time.
Minutes and minutes of word salad condensed down to, my critics are fake and they only hate me for cred.
Anyway, whatever. Shit.
Good, he's going to change the topic.
Someone I know was upset about the gamer comment too. I talked him off the clip, but I think that some people are just that genuinely couldn't tell you mean it. All gamers, not just everyone.
Not agreeing with Hasan is akin to almost committing suicide.
I'm gonna become a Nazi now. It's like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Not even the soup Nazi is relevant to this.
No soup for you. Come back 1 year.
If you're not trash, then don't get mad about it.
When Hasan insults an entire group of people like gamers, he expects you to understand that he's not talking about you. You're one of the good ones. All the rest of them are trash.
Why? Why are you being so fucking sensitive?
Are you talking to yourself?
I play video games. I don't give a shit. I talk shit about gamers all the goddamn time.
You can't be mad about the incel pragmata statements because he's always trashing gamers like that.
I'm a man. I don't give a shit when people say men are trash. I say, yeah, it's true. Who gives a fuck?
Yes, but when someone says that you're wrong, you crash out.
God, have some fucking backbone, dude. Jesus Christ. I can't stand motherfuckers who are, like, crying like this all the fucking time.
You're having a very emotional reaction to the thought of people having emotional reactions.
Well, they're like, they came after gamers. Gamers.
This straw man is just as pathetic. Nobody's saying that gamers are a minority or oppressed group. They're saying that you're an asshole in your statements about them.
Be for real. Be for real.
Reality is, you're having a temper tantrum right now.
Be a man. Okay? Be a man.
Must be swift as a coursing river.
Be a man. Have some fucking backbone. Have some goddamn intellectual honesty.
I do have intellectual honesty. That's why I'm pointing out every single one of your straw men.
Have some decency.
Have some decency, guys. Stop persecuting Hasan.
Okay? It's totally ridiculous. Constantly crying like, me, 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 me. They're coming after gamers. Really, dude? You think they're systematically discriminating against you because you're a fucking gamer? That's what you think?
Nobody has said this. Nobody is claiming this. He has made this up completely in the last 5 minutes.
Shut up, dude. Oh my God.
He says all of the things that we wish he would listen to.
Anita Sarkeesian attacked gamers for 10 years. Look where we're at now. Yeah, the people still chirp about Anita Sarkeesian, bro.
This feels very stream of consciousness.
People still talk about how she was like a primary vector of hatred, a primary villain in their lives.
You are such an old. This isn't 2014.
I'll be honest, dude, if you genuinely still think about Anita Sarkeesian to this degree, like, you're not long for this world.
It's giving J.D. Salinger.
I'm actually genuinely confused how you haven't fucking killed yourself so far.
Holy crap, I can see why he's not allowed on YouTube.
What a pathetic mode of existence. If I lived like that, if one person that I ordained as a villain in my own mind had this much control over my life, this much control... and was a figure worthy of this much animus, I would fucking realize at some point that My life is not worthy of living. It's just so sad. I'm just going to end it all.
How does a straw man end his life?
How about a little fire, Scarecrow?
You know? It's not even a joke. There are still people who unironically bring up Anita fucking Sarkeesian, dude.
You just did. Is this some sort of cry for help? Do we need to call someone?
Like people who think, you know, titties in video games are tinier now because of Anita Sarkeesian and because of US aid.
I'm starting to think you think that.
People who sincerely think like the American government, by way of the CIA, made the boobs smaller in video games to oppress the gamers.
You're the one repeating conspiracy theories from 2014.
If this is the type of person you are, you have to snap out of it immediately.
Good news, everyone!
Hasan completely made up that type of person, so nobody has to snap out of anything.
Like, look, I'm not in favor of corporal punishment, but honestly, your parents should have beat the fuck out of you a little bit.
Hasan, straw men, scarecrows, they don't have parents.
If you genuinely have this attitude, if this is how you see the world in your adult age, like, you know.
I think he thinks he's describing Asmongold and all of Asmongold's viewers.
You're slated for an ass whooping by your dad, right?
Is it daddy issues then? Did he hit you too much or not enough?
Like something needs to reorient your priorities. Something needs to just like fix your brain a little bit.
Straw men don't have brains either. There's a whole fucking song about it.
And my head I'd be scratching while my thoughts were busy hatching if I only had a brain.
It's so ridiculous. I will hate comment on this USA Today article when it comes out. No, it's not.
You do have brigaders.
The USA Today article probably won't even be that bad. I'm just like, I just can't believe how... I just cannot fucking believe how much coverage this has created.
That's because you're a narcissistic sociopath and don't understand how real human beings work.
Anita Sarkeesian was harassed like crazy. It's pathetic how people obsess over her. I say this as someone who was mad on her content, even though she was a swerve. Yeah, I don't know anything about Anita Sarkeesian.
You were just talking like you did. What is this?
And I don't want to know. And I find it very strange that that people have such strong opinions about a woman who was doing cultural critique on video games like 20 years ago. Right?
Theory. He saw the original Anita Sarkeesian comment and jumped on it because it's related to gaming.
It's very frustrating that we have to sit around and act like this is a sincere problem. It's not. There's so many more important things going on in the world.
Then Hasan Piker's bad take on the game Pragmata.
If you want to constantly worry about Anita Sarkeesian, then, you know, go off, I guess.
He's Trump. He does the weave. He goes from one subject to another and he never answers the question or sufficiently explains himself because he changes the topic. That's my conclusion on the psychology of Hasan Piker and the conclusion of this very video. Please give it a like, subscribe if you haven't, hit all notifications, and answer this question in the comments. What video game is Hasan good at?
Hurry back. Be sure to bring your death certificate if you decide to join us. Make final arrangements now.